Hey everybody, welcome to the Rise or Die podcast with Stephen M. Lowisz, episode 24, Scarcity Can't Lead. So the last couple of days I haven't done a podcast, and it's because I've kind of been in what we call a drift, right? Kind of feeling shitty, pressure's mounting up. So one, didn't have time, and that's a story I'm telling myself, but that's one of the reasons. And then number two, I just didn't feel like I almost shut this podcast down, just to be completely honest. I don't have thousands of listeners. But what I realize is that this podcast is more for me than it is for those that I want to listen. See, right now you're listening to a guy that doesn't have a platform, or doesn't have a big platform, I should say. I do have some followers. But you're listening to a guy that's 100K in debt, starting a couple businesses, trying to navigate through marriage and training for MMA and Ironman and different things. And, I haven't actually accomplished these feats. You guys typically want to listen to someone that's already been there, done that, and hear how to do it. But the whole point of the podcast was to come from a humble perspective of, guys, this is what I'm trying to do. Everyone wants to talk about it after they've done it, but no one's actually recording the journey of having it all, the journey of managing body, being, balance, and business. No one's done it to my knowledge, ever. No one's actually documented the highs, the lows, the downswing, the upswing, the drifts, the lifts, so on and so forth. And that's the whole point of this podcast. Well, who is more qualified than me to do that? I'm literally starting down this whole journey. I have a lot to share. I want to prepare those of you that aren't in entrepreneurship yet, but that's something that you aspire to do. I have all the qualification in the world. So one of the concepts that I got out of a company called Wake Up Warrior, and I've referenced it quite a few times, are the ones who came up with the core four: body, being, balance, and business. But this concept that I took from them is every man a leader. Garrett J. White coined the term, every man a leader. Every single man is qualified to lead. Every woman's qualified to lead, but every man, all-encompassing, every person is qualified to lead in different capacities. You can't tell someone how to be a millionaire if you're not already a millionaire. That's a fact. That just makes you a hypocrite. But you are capable of leading people down the right path. You are capable of leading people by your own example. You are capable of leading people based on your own failures. The mindset that I drift back to way too often is a mindset of scarcity, a mindset of, I am not qualified, I'm not big enough to do this, I don't have the right skill, the right resources, the right partners, the right whatever. And it's all a bunch of bullshit. I am qualified, as are you. You are qualified to step off into entrepreneurship, as am I. You are qualified to actually lead in your marriage and be the husband that you desire and shape a marriage that's on fire. You are qualified to do whatever the fuck you say you are qualified to do. It's a matter of a mindset. The last couple of days I've been playing very small. The last couple of days, I've made less progress. I've been dealing with IT issues. I haven't done any podcasts. And the reason that I said earlier that this podcast is more for me than it is for you is that it's my opportunity to lead, which forces me to level up. It makes me a hypocrite if I share some insight or action step or what have you on this podcast, and then I go and do the exact opposite. I don't do what I tell you guys to do. Leadership isn't just about being qualified to lead others. Leadership is about leading others through your example. It forces you to level up. It forces you to act. Be a leader. I don't care if you're a single mom with 18 kids or you're a married man who's working in corporate America in what you feel is a dead-end job. I don't care if you're 13. I don't care if you're 84. You're capable of leading. Scarcity, this mindset that you are not good enough, that you are not qualified, that you are not able to lead is BS. You cannot lead from scarcity.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rise
But
or
as soon
Die
as you
podcast
decide that,
with
guess
Stephen
what?
and
You do
Lowisz.
have
This
something
is episode
valuable to bring
10,
to others. You
wet
do have
t-shirt.
insight. You
And
do have
no,
experience.
the title
Maybe you're
probably
just going to
doesn't give
tell
you a good
everybody
idea of
about
what
your
I'm actually
failures so
talking
they know
about.
what not to
I'm
do.
talking about a literal wet t-shirt.
I mean, that's
to get
half
your
of what
mind
this
out of the gutter.
podcast is. I fuck up
I
a
don't
lot.
hate anything.
I'm 100K
I
in
don't
debt.
think
I mean, how many people
more
want to
than
brag
being
about
cold.
that?
I
Normally,
hate
it's a
being
story,
cold.
and I wrestled with
I'm
this
not
for a
talking
while.
chilly,
Normally,
but
it's
like
a case
chilled
where
to the bone.
they'll tell you that they were
I get
100K
up in the
in
morning
debt like
a couple days a
decade
week,
after they got out of debt.
go
and
to
now
the
they're
gym
making
and jump in the
millions.
pool.
No, I want you
And,
guys to know the good, the bad, and
once
the
I'm in the
ugly.
pool,
I want you to
I'm
know
good.
the real me.
But it's a complete
I'm not leading from a place
fuck.
of scarcity.
It's a
now.
mind fuck.
I'm leading from
trying to get
a place of
into
certainty.
That pool. I don't know
and
why.
authenticity.
I have an easier time getting up
That
at
is
4
what is
a.m.
required
than
for
I
you
do
to
when I'm
lead.
already up
Certainty
to just
and
get into the damn
authenticity.
pool.
So
It was a little
as we
different,
wrap up
though.
episode 24,
So I
where
combined
across
actually 2
body
days
being
worth of
balance and
workouts.
business,
I did
are you lacking
50-minute bike ride
leadership?
and then a 4-mile
Where do you need
run.
to step up to rise?
And normally
Where
I
do you
take a
need
couple
to
shirts in
rise
my
and
gym bag
start
just so,
leading?
but as you get
You need to start
really
with
sweaty,
yourself, and then you need to start leading
especially
others.
during long
So that's what I'll leave you with today.
as we wrap
cardio
up
and episode
exercise.
24 tomorrow. I'll be back for
cold
episode 25.
tends to seep
I committed
in, right?
to
Wet
doing a daily
t-shirt.
podcast.
Again, literal
I have
wet
not held to
t-shirt.
that commitment.
That
That is
makes you cold as
changing
hell.
now. I'll talk to you tomorrow for episode 25.
Extra shirts today. And I was actually feeling perfectly fine when it comes to how I was, breathing, my muscles. I was doing completely fine. Probably could have pushed even a little bit harder. But holy shit, that wet t-shirt was fucking with me. That wet t-shirt made me want to quit. That wet t-shirt made it miserable. And it was all mental, 100% mental. I'm a little chilly on the outside. Got a couple extra pounds. I've got insulation, as I call it. I'm slightly fluffy, right? But man, that t-shirt was rough. And when you're doing a lot of cardio, you have some time to think. And I realize I have a wet t-shirt in every area of my life. And yes, this is a little cheesy, but so be it. I have a wet t-shirt in every area of my life. And for me, a wet t-shirt is something small that's fucking with my head that actually has no effect on me physically. It has no effect on me except the effect I let it have on me. There was nothing miserable about the dang t-shirt. It was all mental. In my marriage, there are things that get under my skin that really, truly just don't matter. In business, I try to do shit that I don't want to do, and it doesn't affect me physically at all. I just don't want to fucking do it, so I have a mental block, a roadblock up. I have a wet t-shirt in every area of my life. For me, a wet t-shirt, when it comes to faith, is simply, I don't want to keep reading the Bible because I feel like I'm ADD and I don't have the patience. That's the same thing. It's a wet t-shirt. It's essentially a distraction that's getting in the way of what I want, but it's all mental. We let mental irritations, mental discomfort fuck with us. Stop us from getting the results that we want. Stop us from getting the results that we demand across all of the core four, body, being, balance, and business. So, again, I know the concept is a little cheesy, but hey, I'm going to share whatever I get out of that day with you, and today it happens to be a wet t-shirt. Tomorrow it might be a dry towel. Who knows? But the question I'll pose to you is, what is your wet t-shirt in body, being, balance, and business? What's the small mental irritation, the mental roadblock that you have set up that's stopping you from the success that you want? I pushed through today. That t-shirt did not affect me at all. I was cold. I was kind of shivering a little bit. So all I did was run harder. And then I forgot all about it because my body temperature was plenty high. So what's the wet t-shirt that you're going to rip apart and tear down across body, being, balance, and business over the next day or two? Do me a favor. Share this podcast with someone that you think could benefit from it. Always appreciate a good share. And don't forget to subscribe at riseordiepodcast.com. Talk to you soon.